On May 30th, 1993, 47-year-old Lonnie George Lemon was last seen in a mountainous area near Pocatello, Idaho. He stood 6 feet tall with brown hair and blue eyes, weighing about 185 pounds. Lonnie was suffering from mental illness at the time of his disappearance and may have been paranoid. After he vanished into those mountains, he was never heard from again. Few details are available about the circumstances of his disappearance. More than 31 years later, his whereabouts remain unknown. This is his story. The mountains near Pocatello can be unforgiving, especially for someone unprepared or disoriented. Lonnie was dealing with mental health challenges, struggling with illness that may have made him paranoid and fearful. On that late May day in 1993, something drew him to those mountains, or perhaps he wandered there in confusion. There were no reports of suspicious circumstances, no evidence of foul play. But there was also no trace of Lonnie. Search efforts in the mountainous terrain would have been difficult. The area is vast, with countless places where someone could become lost, injured, or worse. For someone battling mental illness and possibly experiencing paranoia, the mountains could have seemed either like a refuge or a trap. The investigation into Lonnie's disappearance has been hampered by the lack of information. Few details were ever made public about where exactly he was last seen, who saw him last, or what might have led him to the mountains that day. His mental state at the time raises questions. Was he trying to escape from something real or imagined? Was he seeking solitude? Did he become disoriented and lost? The Idaho Missing Persons Clearinghouse has maintained Lonnie's case for decades, but without new leads or evidence, the trail has gone cold. In 2001, Lonnie's family made the difficult decision to have him declared legally dead, accepting what seemed inevitable after 8 years of silence. But legal death doesn't bring the same closure as knowing what happened. Lonnie would be 81 years old today if he had survived. His family has lived more than 3 decades without knowing if he succumbed to the elements in those mountains, if he had an accident, or if something else happened that day. Somewhere in the mountains near Pocatello, there may be answers. A hiker might stumble upon remains, or someone who saw Lonnie that day might finally come forward with information. Until then, Lonnie George Lemon remains lost to the wilderness and to time. If you have information about Lonnie George Lemon's disappearance, contact the Idaho State Police at 208-884-7137.